Hello, my wonderful viewers, and welcome to another episode of Betty Adams Overanalyzes. The Season 2 trailer has dropped for Glitch Text, and we have a very curious promotional image that went with it. A little birdie whispered to me, or rather noted in the comments 2 or 3 videos back, that this wasn't meant to be a promotional poster, and they simply chose it so that the Season 2 announcement would have an image to go along with it. They said that basically that they just slapped the logo on this and sent it out. But the insider said that they found it, and I quote, worthy of intriguing the audience. Now, there are several factors about this not intended to be a poster that are very intriguing. There are 2 new characters, the twin brother and sister who bear a strong symbolic resemblance to the Japanese spirits of lightning and wind. Lightning sibling has purple hair, not yellow as I mistakenly commented in my last post, mistaking the reflection of the light for a yellow tinge. There is an ominous mechanical-looking figure looming in the background that might be an updated version of Bit that Phil has been avoiding for some reason. Remember, Bit found no updates when they took him out of Mitch's cargo compartment on his truck. That suggests that Hinobi stopped offering support for Bit some time ago. And there's probably a reason Phil has been avoiding getting this new upgrade. So, if the mechanical figure behind the human characters is in fact the update for Bit, that opens a lot of possibilities for storytelling. Then there is the green-haired girl's new cape look. All these are very intriguing, but the most obvious and most telling from a storytelling perspective is Mitch's hair, or rather the abrupt change in Mitch's hairstyle. You laugh, but I kid you not. My knowledge comes straight from the pages of Shonen Jump, and if they are experts on if they aren't the experts on the importance of a protagonist's hair, then I don't know who is. Even though Mitch is more of a deuteragonist, the concept still applies. It isn't just his hair either. Mitch is looking in the same direction as the rest of the text on his side of the image. 5, Me-K.O and Zara. Mitch is smiling, not sardonically, not sarcastically, but warmly. He is giving a jaunty 2-finger salute. His sleeves are rolled up as if he is about to get down to work and is going to enjoy it. This is a new man, and it is represented most singularly in his hair. The concept being this: in traditional animation, especially black and white, or even just black and white still comics, there are only so many ways you can differentiate your characters one from the other. A drawn face only has so many lines to depict it. Painted on complexion only has so many hues. You want your character to stand out, to really pop out from the page, to stand out from all the other characters. And a distinctively shaped hairstyle is one sure way to do that. A human face can only be warped so far before it becomes unacceptable to the audience. Eye shape can only vary so much before you swerve into the uncanny valley. The same goes for ears, noses, teeth, and so on. These things have physical limits. But hair is nearly infinitely malleable. Note that Me-K.O and 5 as the protagonists have distinctive big hairstyles, with Me-K.O's taking on a color and length no other girl in the show has, while 5's hair is every inch as tall as Mitch's, just in a more natural shape and color. Compare 5's hair especially to the tech who is closest in physical size and shape to him, Bergie. Their hair has somewhat the same contour, but it's lumpy and has that kind of natural looking shape, but 5's is roughly 4 times the volume of Bergie's ginger mop and a distinctly different color. The characters are designed to visually set each other off. First, so we can tell them apart, and second, to reflect their personalities. For this reason, as well as the expense of designing a new model and training the new animators, you simply don't just majorly change the hairstyle of a main character unless it's for a purpose. Ergo, there is a reason that the Glitch Text creative team decided to change Mitch's look midway through the first season when they did not do that to any of the other texts. Now, the primary reason to change a character's look is to represent either some great internal change in the character's personality or one other reason. For instance, when a brash and sentimental young hero is faced with a crushing realization that it maybe embitters him to the world or leaves him wiser and stronger, it is something of a tradition to chop his hair short. When a refined child of the modern world has been stranded on a desert island and has learned to provide for themselves, this is symbolized by their hair having grown long and shaggy, and if it is a man, growing a beard. In more comedic forms, the female grows a beard as well. There is a pattern to these things, but the creators of glitch texts are masters of subverting your expectations of the pattern. Now, usually when a carefully groomed character, especially one who takes as much care of his image as Mitch clearly does, who has designed and sketched how he presents himself to the world, goes from a styled big hairstyle to a ragged small hairstyle, it is frequently the result of a scene where the character loses control of something. Perhaps they genuinely had the thing under control and then they lose control. Perhaps they never had it under control in the first place and what they lose is only their illusion of control. But in a very anime scene, the character has their hair suddenly and brutally cut off, leaving a ragged mess where their carefully coiffed mop used to be. The logical implication of a more relaxed and happy Mitch, in concert with Five, Me-K.O, and Zara standing there, is his ragged haircut is that Mitch has undergone some Zuko-style moment of personal revelation represented by his style of years being destroyed. But where the glitch text twist that we have learned to expect, where is the truth hidden behind the trope? Well, and this is just speculation now, remember, but there is another instance where the hairstyle of a character is dramatically changed outside of them having a massive personality change. It is not when the character changes, but when the main character's perception of him changes. The classic example is Beauty and the Beast. There is the shaggy and suspicious stranger there is also the shaggy and suspicious stranger who reveals himself to be a long-lost uncle. Then there is the warrior who removed his plumed helmet to reveal he was an unexpected ally all the time. The man you thought was a sniveling bureaucrat all the time turns out to be a mole who is feeding you information at great risk to his own life. It might be that Mitch himself isn't in for a major character change, but rather that Five's and Me-K.O's perceptions and misconceptions of Mitch are in for a rude disruption. From the beginning, Me-K.O and Five, mostly instigated by Me-K.O, have been grossly unfair to Mitch in their estimation of his character. Me-K.O ranted at Mitch for whole scenes about stealing Five's win, but when Mitch had done no such thing. Remember, Phil invalidated Five's and Me-K.O's joint win. Me-K.O couldn't have known this, being that she wasn't in store, but it's still unjust to Mitch. And Mitch never stepped in to defend himself against Me-K.O's accusations. Now, Mitch is rude and abrupt, saying things in the most aggravating way, but what he says is almost always accurate. He repeatedly turns up just in time to save Me-K.O and Fives from their impulsiveness and inexperience, where their own actions would have gotten them seriously injured or even killed. Five's misplaced compassion and guilt nearly got both him and his friend Casino absorbed by the possessor glitch, and even with Me-K.O's help, they couldn't save Casino until Mitch showed up to save the day. In that instance, they both just assumed that Mitch was going to carelessly risk Casino's lives, but in reality, it was Fives and Me-K.O through abetting Fives, who were actually risking Casino's safety. It was Mitch who showed up to save them and Casino. When the Kazoom Rabbit glitch was about to assault the distracted Five and Me-K.O, Mitch was the one who showed up to save their hives, even though he doesn't like hanging around that arcade and really dislikes those classic glitches. Mitch has turned down several opportunities to report them for serious to downright egregious violations of glitch text protocol that he could have gotten them in serious trouble with Phil for. And to top that off, he's never withheld from them what he counts to be ordinate or proper praise. Mitch is just very disagreeable about giving his praise. I think both Me-K.O and Fives understand this on a gut level. Their actions say that they trust that he won't hurt them, no matter how much their words mock him. Think of Five calling him a frenemy, and Me-K.O daring to boop him on the nose when trapped in the bubble with him. She trusted that he wasn't going to lash out at her, and neither Fives nor Me-K.O is the least scared of Mitch Williams, but they can't shake that mental image they formed of him at the beginning as a heartless jerk who only cares about his high score. This change in appearance might be the scales falling away from Me-K.O and Fives' eyes as they develop a more mature understanding of their co-worker, and this might be what is represented by Mitch's abrupt change in appearance. The concept that he had that carefully coiffed updo ripped off violently by some external circumstances indicated by its now ragged nature. So, what do you think, my wonderful viewers? Does Mitch's change in appearance herald a change in his personality, a change in the other glitch text perceptions of him, or am I reading way too much into a new do? Leave a like below if you agree, and leave a comment bashing my theory like a rogue glitch if you disagree. Check out my Teespring store for some weird human merch, and hit that subscribe button. Peace out, my wonderful viewers.